All right, guys. Yeah, welcome to my platform, Timo Starboy, Reality Talk TV. Yeah, I greet you. I greet all at your location time. Yeah, it will be well with you guys. Yeah, so happy weekdays. This is Wednesday here. So anyway, you know, we want to tell you about people asking for when are we going to eat the street because of all these our leader criminals, all around, all these our career criminals, leaders nowadays. So as you are getting in, as you are watching our video, please share, like, and love. God will bless you abundantly. Thank you very much. So let me play you the video. People are asking, when are we going to hit the street? Are we going to be sitting back, relax, and be looking our destiny will be washing away? The youth, when are you going to hit the street? When are you going to ask for your freedom? When are you going to ask for your right? That is what the people are asking for. So it has come to that. We cannot be looking. Our life will be wasting away. So it is going to be a collective effort. It's going to be a collective effort to fight these demon people that they call themselves leaders and elders. So we don't need them. So we need to choose the avenue, the time, the day when we're going to fight back. So we're not going to sit back. Like I said, we're not going to be looking. So I can tell you for free, I can tell you categorically, these people, they are career criminals. Career criminals. Read my lips. Career criminals. Because they are not showing the sign of changing. They don't want to change. All this their gullible way, all this their self-centered selfishness, it's not going to stop, not now, not ever. So unless we get them down, unless we get them down and we tell them that enough is enough. So don't let me take your time. As usual, let me play you the video. So let's watch it. Okay, let's go.
Because if the tables were turned, Tinubu and his gang would have turned. When are we going to hit the streets? Because if the tables were turned, Tinubu and his gang would have turned off Nigeria by today.
This is Peter B's response when an angry Nigerian asked him when Nigerians are going to hit the streets to protest, because it is obvious that electoral revolution will not solve Nigerian problem. Nigerians trooped out en masse like never before in Nigeria's history and voted to change the government of Buhari. But at the end of the day, the election was rigged. They went to court,
we did before,
and the courts upheld illegality, forgery, and all sorts of things. The angry Nigerian told him that it is only force that the politicians will understand.
Yes.
That we have been conducting ourselves.
That is the language they will hear you.
We voted peacefully, went to court peacefully.
The language they understand.
But they have refused to change.
Force.
That it is only when Nigerians protest massively that they will hear what they are saying. Like the saying goes, those who make peaceful change impossible make violent change inevitable.
Yes.
Let's take a listen.
Yeah, good evening from my end first. Good evening, Mr. President. I call you Mr.
The people are waiting. They are waiting so long.
We won the election.
They want their life back.
The criminals stole it from us. Mr. President, from what we have seen in the past year, we have seen that our ballot revolution will not do it. We have also seen that the courts will not do it for us. They are compromised. We saw the blatant, whatever they did at the Supreme Court. And we have seen subsequently how the criminals in government today, I will use the word criminals because we all in this room know the truth. The whole world knows the truth. How they have continued to blatantly put their people, their cronies in power, from INEC to police to whatever arms of government. Mr. President, you and I know, and everybody knows that Going to the ballot again will not do it for us. Take Imo, take Kogi, take Bayelsa as examples. Take Kano as example. Take Port Harcourt as example. Those states where I'm from is coming up very soon. The same thing will happen. Mr. President, I will differ with everybody in this room and ask you a simple question. Please, when are we going to hit the streets? Because if the tables were turned, Tinubu and his gang would have turned off Nigeria by today. We played by the rule, voted massively, went to the court massively, and we did everything. And they still denied us what was right. Mr. President, there is no constitution today in Nigeria. So when are we going to hit the streets? That is the language they will understand. If you say you don't want people to be killed, they dropped a bomb in Kaduna a few weeks ago. You visited them. They killed innocent people over there. Across the country, people are being kidnapped daily. Coppers going to Zamfara are still in captive for over 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. People can't
As you can
flee
hear,
across Nigeria, Mr. President.
day in, day out,
When are we going
people
to
are
hit
dying
the
on the
street?
street.
That is
They
what
are dying. They are killing
understand.
people.
Because we
They have
won
turned it to
election.
butcher
And as I round up,
country,
Mr. President, we made
butcher
a statement
location.
that people from
Nigeria
abroad
is
were
a
calling
deadly
you, trying
country.
to cut deals with you on how to govern Nigeria. We know they don't.
I'm so sorry to interject, Chief Owaken.
When
If you
are
don't
we-
mind, can you please go
Thank you.
straight to your
The
question?
question is, when are we hitting the streets? Thank you, Mr. President.
その借金2023年中は
Sorry, guys. Another interruption. Sorry. My bad. My bad.
Thank you very much. I know how you feel. I know the pain.
This is the Peter,
But let me
Mr.
tell
Peter
you what I've
Obi
always
is
said.
speaking.
We
He's responding to the
preaching
question.
the right things. We will not do it wrongly. I've always said that those who want to answer Excellency must come through the excellent way. It will take time. It will look as if it's going to be tonight. But I will tell you, it won't be too far. We are going to do it the right way, and we're going to get there. The people will be with us. They will come to an end one day. There are things I cannot tell. They're coming to an end because hunger, everything, because they can't do it. I have said to people, if you hit the streets, it will be worse for those you're trying to protect, because they are the ones who live in armored houses with armored cars, which I and you don't have. They live a sophisticated life. They are now using billions to refurbish themselves and everything. I said it before that coppers who genuinely want to serve Nigeria
Oh,
are now in
It's
captivity,
terrible.
and people are celebrating.
it's so
They didn't
terrible
mention
to
them in
hear.
their celebration. I didn't see their celebration mention, oh, these my people who are in captivity. I didn't see them show prayers or mention those who died in Kaduna in their speeches. So please, let's not allow more to die. Yes, it might be language they will understand, but after more people have been killed and kidnapped and lots of excuse given, my pleading with you is that let us try to continue the same way we've done it so far. We will get there. Quote me anywhere.
Peter Obi is a gentleman. He might not subscribe to any
Yeah.
sort of violence, but it is illegal to be law-abiding in a lawless society. Power concedes nothing except you make demands. If you don't make demands, they will continue in their wasteful ways. They will continue going to conferences abroad with thousands of people wasting taxpayers' money. So it must start somewhere. People must show their grievances to the government so that they will understand. They are behaving as if all is well in Nigeria, that there is no hunger, there is no suffering. They are living an alternate reality. The protest by the people will jolt them back to reality and say, hey, there's serious suffering, and this suffering will not be solved by palliatives or sharing money. It will be solved by doing the right thing, cutting cost of governance. Anyway, let's hear the shocking revelation.
So anyway, let me play you another video that backing this one up. You know, is San Agbakoba. He was telling us that this government, they are mafia government. There's nothing will change, you know, from it. There's nothing will change from it. Their mafias is running the Nigeria, so-called the nation of Nigeria, you know. They say it's a mafia job. And these people, they are criminals. They are running a criminal enterprises, you know. So nothing will be changed. If you're just waiting, you are waiting in vain. You are waiting for nothing unless you hit the street. Give them what they understand. That is what we're asking for. You know, let me just play you the video. Let me quickly pick up the video and listen to it. Dr. Agbakoba San is the one on the pulpit. Sorry, guys. This one is...
I will focus on
This is the video.
solutions. We have problems. I mean, we know it.
Yeah.
So there's no point repeating.
This is the video.
Rice is 60,000. Petrol is up.
Dr. Agbakoba
We all know
San.
that. I think what we need to look at is, like you said, how do we move forward? That I think is the issue. I, as a
Move
70-year-old,
forward is not the issue. It's not the problem.
civil rights,
To do the right
Yeah,
thing,
29.
that is what we're asking.
a long
That is the
time.
problem.
what I still
It's
have
on this
hope.
on the country, inside the Nigeria.
But I would like to draw attention. I'm happy
Let me
you say it's clear.
give you a little bit
because I
tone.
also studied counterintelligence
Like this one is-
and insurgency policy at
Okay.
SOAS in 1980.
The volume up.
We need peace, security to develop.
I hope you guys are watching it.
We
You are
can't
listening
win,
very
in
well.
my opinion, the war by armed forces.
Please share.
So I will suggest to the National Assembly to
You need
consider
to educate yourself.
possibility
Educate yourself from
of
this program.
inviting the ethnic
We are sharing light to you.
nationalities, the owners of Nigeria.
To know where your
You know, the
problem
past
is.
National conference.
not here to play.
I was one, attended with our guy here. We have no stake in Nigeria in the sense that I am not an ethnic nationality leader. I suspect inviting these
I hope you guys
leaders
you are hearing it.
together with
Loud
our
and clear.
traditional rulers, who I think are being ignored in the process.
They are
We might
running
be able to resolve
enterprises criminals. They are criminals
Boko Haram,
enterprises.
IPOP. By the way, my
No
brother
doubt
was kidnapped
about
yesterday
it. I can tell you categorically. I can tell you for free.
on nature.
I can tell
Thank God he
you
was released. He said his name was Nnamdi
very,
Obiora.
very clearly.
When they searched his bag and saw my name,
They are all a
So
bunch
we
of
can go.
criminals.
so I'm thankful for that. But that is not what we want.
And we say we should separate. They say no.
For the president
Sean Bishop
to make
Nimejani.
progress with
Eh?
the president of
Criminal
the,
people.
of the
Sean Bishop
Senate,
Nimeja.
peace must reign. So the first task
Àwọn kan rẹ̀ jajẹ, àwọn
is
kan rí
how
jẹ.
do we find peace?
Some people
Will
are
it be by
they are sharing
armed forces?
fish.
My
They
answer
are,
is no.
they are sharing cake.
By executive
They are sharing
and
meat.
legislative
But other people, they are lack of it.
process.
They don't have
to
it.
find how we can draw in Ohaneze,
Let everybody hear
Afenifere,
what is going on
Pandef.
around the Nigeria.
Arewa, the traditional rulers that are being ignored.
Thank you.
I
Thank you for
personally
love.
believe they have a role in the constitutional
Love
process.
it, like it.
If this
Share
is
it
done,
out.
I feel we will achieve peace. So that's number one. I would
There
like
will be
us
no
to also
peace
consider
When there is no
moving
justice,
away from 9 to 5 transactional
there will be no peace.
legislative
Don't ask me
process.
peace when there is no justice.
Transformational
Ask me
uncommon
justice.
process, which
Where it's
Mr.
gonna
President
be
is
happening.
familiar with. We need to change how we must have an objective.
We don't need peace.
I
We
will
need
offer
justice.
tenor.
Justice must be prevailed, must be served very well.
Mr. President has made 3 tough decisions.
Thank you,
I
Emmanuel
agree with some,
Obiana.
not all.
You are welcome to the
The
platform.
removal of subsidy, entirely agree. It was a market correction. It's had an impact. So
Obiana
it's how we
Ayan,
deal
you are
with
welcome to the
impact
platform.
by legislation.
God will bless
that
you.
will be helpful. Now, for us to have had a unsettled constitution for 23 years ought to end with the 10th National Assembly.
This is a video right here.
23 years is a long time to be discussing.
We are not
the
lying
Constitution.
here. This is
So I
Dr.
would suggest
Agbakoba San.
that the first thing would be,
As you can see on your
how
big
do
screen,
we get a new constitution?
our program is reality.
There are 2
reality
ways.
show.
The first is what the National Assembly is doing now, which I disagree with. I prefer the solution proffered by the late Ben Wabeze. He refers to the extraordinary powers of the National Assembly. The National Assembly has 4 types of legislative powers. Only one is in use. The National Assembly is the National Assembly sitting as the House of Assembly of the federal government, pursuant to Section 4.2 of the Constitution. But please check Section 4.1. The National Assembly is the National Assembly sitting as the sovereign parliament. Section 4.1. So the National Assembly is at once the House of Assembly of the federal government and the House of Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In fact, if you recall, when the National Assembly was grouping to find powers to invoke the doctrine of necessity, Section 4.1 was the power to use. Now, Section 2.1 gives a very vital power in the Constitution. It describes Nigeria as indissoluble. Indissoluble. So the sovereign power of Nigeria is to be found in Section 2.1. And there's only one citizen that carries the sovereign authority of Nigeria. As far as I researched, there's only one citizen who is referred to as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that is President Tinubu.
Give love and light.
Every other person is either Federation, AGF, CJN, but no other person is referred to, and there's a purpose for that. So the President of Nigeria carries with him the authority of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Federation is not a political entity. It is merely a subdivision within the Sovereign Republic of Nigeria. So it's important that the National Assembly, in carrying out its legislative functions, will understand that it has a trinity of powers, the final one being the FCT. So when that scope is understood, Professor Wabeze says there are 2 broad ways you can deal with the Constitution. One is Section 8 and Section 9, which you are using, but has taken us 23 years in altering the Constitution. The other one is what he calls constitutional replacement, which happened in 1963, because the Constitution right now is not an act. It is a schedule attached to an act. So Professor Wabeze says if you invoke Section 4.1 and Section 4.4 of the Constitution, all you need to do is detach the schedule from the act and replace it with the new Constitution. And that is the matter resolved. Rather than every new assembly, we keep discussing the same issue. Because we can't make economic and political progress if we have a discussion that is lasting 23 years. So that is the point I would like to leave. Second point will be the electoral process. President Tinubu here had a petition, P2B versus President Tinubu. When I checked all the petitions, I actually found out that the petitions would have been best addressed to INEC. P2B has no quarrel with Mr. President. If you look at what he stated in his petition, it was like a refereeing a match and allowing a goal for Chelsea. And then Chelsea petitions against, say, Arsenal. But it's not Arsenal's, it's the referee. So we need to adopt the Kenyan model. The Kenyan
You
model
can
is
hear
very
the
simple.
scandalous that is happening
A
in
petitioner
our
presents
judiciary
a petition
system,
which, if it raises
as well as
reasonable
our
cause,
politicians.
it convokes a tribunal. The
Criminal
tribunal
acting.
turns to their own INEC, not
Criminal
to the
act.
respondent. So justify the election. Were the PVCs working? Was the BVACs working? Those are not issues that would concern Mr. President. Those are issues that would be addressed to the Election
Yakub Mahmood.
Management Board.
That Yakub
In
Mahmood.
that way, you will find that the pressure will now
It's a
turn
criminal.
to the Election
the
Management
core.
Board to do their work properly. Because when there's a challenge, the petitioner and the respondent don't fight each other. It is the INEC that carries the brunt.
The referee.
Once that is done, and I was a member of the Always panel, everything will change. And I also recommend the unbundling of INEC. It's doing far too much. INEC is the largest printer of papers in Nigeria. That's not their job. It's not their job to be printing.
Is
INEC
he a
doing
printing
far
press?
Too many things. So in
Ask him,
the
Yakub.
Waste petition, in the Waste
Are you a printing press now?
report, we recommended removing the function of regulating political parties by the creation of a political party regulation authority. We recommended creating the Electoral Offences Commission. So I would urge the 10th Assembly, presided over by its chairman, President Babio, to simply enact the recommendations. And that will be the end. That was in 2007 or 8. So many years have passed. The Electoral Act makes a mockery of democracy. So we can correct that mockery by passing all the recommendations of the Uwais panel. The legal and judicial governance process. By the way, I'm speaking only to a narrow issue of development. I'm talking about governance. So governance is the process by which you can elevate economic and political matters to its optimum. I feel now that we are operating suboptimally. And if governance is well applied across what I'm saying, we can get to optimum performance. The insertion of Section 315 in the Constitution is a horrendous mistake of lazy people. Horrendous error. So what Section 315 does, it allows, for instance, the law, statute of frauds that was passed in the UK in 1635 to still be on our books. In the case of Rwanda, Paul Kagame took a different view. He set up a National Reform Commission, and they amended, modified, and introduced 1,000 new laws in 3 months. So, Mr. President of the Senate, may I respectfully urge that we do away with Section 315, we review our laws, expunge all that is unnecessary, obnoxious, dead, some of the laws passed by when Mr. President was very active in the civil rights movement, all the laws that the military passed. Why are they on our books when we're a democracy? So that ought to go. Then, as the president of the Nigerian Bar Association between 2006 and 2008, I know we have suffered legal failure. If you suffer heart failure, you are dead. So for all intents and purposes, we don't have an effective legal system. And in my practice, a lot of clients come and say, if we invest, how long would it take us to go through the courts? And when I say 5 to 10 years, they don't want to come. So if we're looking for investments, we've got to decapitate the legal system of Nigeria. We have to rewrite it. It can't stand. It's too old-fashioned. The same thing with the
1999 Constitution
judicial system.
cannot stand.
You know,
That is
it's
nonsense.
sort of ironic for me to say this. not only as a former
Obviously,
president,
it's
as a
nonsense.
senior advocate, as a former member of the Nigerian Judicial Commission. But when my dad was CJ of East Central State, we all wanted to protect the judiciary from military incursion. So we ring-fenced the judiciary. So everybody is afraid. No, don't touch their money. Don't do this, don't do this. And that philosophy carries forward today. The judiciary should not be as aloof as it wants to make out. I was the first, accompanied by my brother, Wole Olanekbaku, who applied because we felt we were qualified to sit in the Supreme Court. The mafia there threw us out.
Mafias.
Threw us out. You know why? Because we still mix.
That was the topic of today.
Which the National Assembly
That
cannot
was
with respect
the
interfere.
phrase
How they do their work.
of today, phrase sentence of today.
Judicial
The mafias
administration,
ruling the country,
which the National Assembly can make laws
and
there
the
should
country
be a
can never
law
stand.
governing the process of appointment of senior judges. We can't leave it to the National Judicial Council. All the Constitution says is once you are 15 years, you are qualified. But the National Judicial Council and the Supreme Court judges have formed a mafia. And we don't get there. And the Supreme Court is this is with the greatest respect,
Mafia.
the worst Supreme Court I have seen in my 45 years of practice.
Mafia.
It has to change.
That was the phrase of
A
today.
challenge for the
Phrase
National
word.
Assembly is to enact
Underline
a law
it.
that deals with
The
judicial
mafia, they are
administration.
at the
I
top.
didn't say administration of
They are
justice.
the leaders
You can't go there
running the country,
because that is the internal
criminals,
workings of the judiciary.
enterprises,
But judicial administration, no.
criminals,
The
empire.
National Assembly can make laws. You pass a law so that I do not depend on the Chief Justice of Nigeria if I wanted to become a judge. The law will be passed stating the criteria to become a judge. You will find a big change. So I make that very strong recommendation to the National Assembly.
My guys, I'm sorry, my viewers all over the world. This video is very long, so I would like to cut it short. So when are we going to hit the street? When are we going to stand up with our 2 feet and say enough is enough to these criminal enterprises they are running in Nigeria? When? That was the topic of today. That was the question of today. When are we going to hit the street and ask for our life, our right? It is very important. So please share this program. Let it reach around, Let it go viral. Let it reach. Let everybody share from it. So thank you guys. Thank you. I pray that your home will be sweet in this festive period we have, Everybody will enjoy their life, So thank you so much. I appreciate all. So bye from now. Take care. Have a lovely week. Bye.